Starscream in the Skybound comic series has to be the most bloodthirsty, blood-giddy bastard to ever represent Starscream kind. This bot loves to make the red come out of humans, and we get splatter on some pages of him. By now you might have seen this iconic image of Starscream treating a pilot like the pesky mosquito flying around your room. And truthfully, Starscream's insane delight for inflicting violence goes beyond humans. He is cruel to other Cybertronians whenever given the chance. It's just easier for him to get away with hurting humans who are smaller, versus bigger Cybertronians who might punch him in the face. That's why when Starscream hurts his own kind, they are usually in vulnerable or weakened positions. Here are 11 absolutely bonkers things Skybound Starscream has done up to the current release of issue 21. That's right, we have loads of time for even more atrocities. And wait until the end for the explanation on why Starscream is this twisted when he starts off as a seemingly normal bot. Spoilers incoming. Number 1. Killing an unconscious character by shooting them in the head. Jetfire fixes Starscream and he wakes up and chooses violence. While Jetfire is like, "Hello old friend," Starscream's like, "Thank you, but hold on, I have to set the tone for the series." Sow! And he shoots Bumblebee, the marketing mascot, in the head. He dead now. Skybound is like, "You don't get your frolicking yellow little boy. We're doing G1 with the raw essence of the original movie. This is G1, but the F you, your faves can die at any moment version." Number 2. Shooting and trying to kill his old bestie immediately after this. As Jetfire is yelling at Starscream, telling him this is madness, Starscream is like, and shoots Jetfire in the chest. Now, Jetfire does initially survive this. He flies after Starscream, and Starscream's like, "Bitch again?" and shoots him. It seems Jetfire is dead, but it turns out that now he is paralyzed in his jet form, blind and afraid. Though, I wonder why he is blind since Cybertronians have always been able to see in their vehicle form. Number 3. Squishing a human upon first sight. The first time Starscream sees a human, he's like, "Ooh, look at that, squishy, squishy." This is contrasted in the start of issue 2, where Optimus squishes a deer, but it is accidental compared to Starscream's intentional. Number 4. Killing humans with the glee some people feel on killing bugs. Starscream has big fat grins on his face while stomping humans, slapping them, whatever. I mean, just look at him, this flamboyant, crazed shit. Then comes the famous scene as the pilots eject and Starscream catches one of them. Skywarp is honestly kind of murder-happy too, though, just less crazy. But Thundercracker retains his honor from previous versions of the character and is not comfortable harming humans, seizing a human but deciding not to squish him. Number 5. Abusing Soundwave. For whatever reason, Starscream is able to slap and yell at Soundwave without consequence for the first few issues. Or whenever Soundwave mentions the name Megatron or shows caring toward his injured kitty cat. It was honestly sad to see poor Soundwave just taking this at first before his big famous snap. Number 6. Gleefully shooting a hospital. Optimus drives the injured Spike to a hospital. Starscream follows them, and then he's like, "OMG! OMG! Is that a hospital?" Number 7. Using Skywarp for parts. Optimus severely injures Skywarp in a fight, and although Skywarp calls other Decepticons his brothers, Starscream and Soundwave rip him apart and fuse him to Teltran 1 to get it working again. They also mislead Thundercracker into thinking the Autobots were responsible for Skywarp's fate. We also have a flashback of Starscream brutally ripping apart Decepticons, seemingly to seize the position of Decepticon leader in Megatron's absence. Number 8. Abusing and insulting Minicons. About Transformers Prime Starscream, I once said Starscream, a known racist. And this applies to Skybound Starscream. He hates Minicons and doesn't think they're worth fixing before other soldiers, or at least the beastly ones. When Soundwave tries to get the injured Ravage repaired, Starscream punts the cat, but Shockwave doesn't really treat Ravage with any more respect, and it's awful. Megatron is the real one for repairing Ravage, complimenting him and calling Soundwave a good father. Number 9. Killing Cliffjumper's family and gloating about it. Cliffjumper reveals that Starscream killed his clan, and Starscream is happy to disclose how much they suffered. This might be a bigger ouch to Cliffjumper than what Starscream did in Transformers Prime. Starscream is also very laughy about being called out for killing anyone, even if he doesn't automatically know which kill is being referred to. Number 10. Starscream wants to kill a cat as soon as he sees it, but then grows amused by the cat when it bites someone. A group of humans save Starscream in order to use him, and they attach his body to a tank they can control. Starscream promises part of the group that if they remove the explosive charges in him, he'll help them go home. This is a trick so they can no longer kill him and force him to obey them. Starscream kills all the humans except for the artist because he wants sketches of himself in his glory. Now, the cat jumps out of the way and you may wonder if it got killed, but if you look very closely, the cat jumped onto Starscream's shoulder. Is Starscream going to keep it, like his evil little pet, in contrast to Thundercracker's dog? The writer confirms Starscream has a little pet, but the cat is not seen again, unless I missed it, and Starscream goes on to fight. We will have to wait to see if the cat reappears, how Starscream would feed it, but honestly, cats get written so dirty sometimes. The cat bit its owner and chose Starscream. No cats in my family would ever be that disloyal. Whenever cats are portrayed as evil animals wanting to be the pets of evil characters, I feel like a dog lover wrote that. If you thought these 11 things were bad, well, tell me how you think it compares to Shockwave grinding up whales in a meat grinder to somehow get energy. And Alita is like, hey, you know what, let's do that if it heals Cybertron. Damn, well, that's Skybound for you. It can be too disturbing for some readers, but on the bright side, the Constructicons and Combaticons are really fond of Starscream for some reason. Now, issue 13 is a big issue for Starscream's backstory. Starscream's original name is Ulktar, at least I think that's how it's pronounced. In the past, Starscream was shown to be a kind robot who stopped his friend from hurting Cybertronian insects. He is blue-eyed instead of red-eyed, so eye color may have a meaning of good or evil in this universe, or maybe it's just a sign of allegiance and eye color is willingly changed. Anyway, Starscream was just a gentle friend who wasn't interested in war until his friend was killed by the Autobots. Megatron recruits him while he's grieving, and Starscream chooses his new name in a kind of cheesy way. Now we're used to Megatron abusing Starscream in other series and turning him into a desperate coward capable of cruel acts. What happens in Skybound is different from any other continuity. Because Megatron in Skybound has a special power, he causes an infection of violence. In issue 19, we learn how Megatron got his power of infectious violence. The Quintessons had taken him, and after putting him through hundreds of trials, they granted him a dark matrix. Megatron obtained a third form said to assert control over whomever uses you. Now Megatron shrinks into a tiny tank gun that is incredibly powerful. He forces Starscream to wield him and to shoot prisoners despite how much he doesn't want to. Megatron tells Starscream, "What you desire matters not. You are mine now. And you will obey my commands." The wielder of Megatron cannot refuse no matter what. They will shoot. There is no choice even if the gun points at someone you love. Starscream's sorrowful frown turns into an ever more gleeful smile the more he fires Megatron. Megatron says, "You shall be my executioner. You shall be my hand of death." When Optimus attaches Megatron's cannon to his arm for his own use, he later starts losing control of that arm and his mind, committing random acts of violence. In issue 21, he realizes Megatron's cannon is what caused his outbursts, and to aim at his fellow Autobots. Like that, you can see this isn't just a Starscream problem. The touch of Megatron is a virus. Megatron fully repairs Starscream, just to beat the crap out of him and force him to be his executioner again. Megatron uses Starscream only as a tool, is responsible for the way he is now, and doesn't care how much he has damaged Starscream. Megatron also slaps and abuses Starscream, so it's no wonder Starscream repeated that behavior with Soundwave. Even though Starscream has taken more joy in violence, after all this time he still looks afraid when commanded to wield Megatron. He did not seem like he wanted to shoot Astro Train to death at all. Even when told to aim at Superion, Starscream does not look excited. Really, just look at how unhappy he looks. Starscream is not doing well here at all. Like, deep inside, past the damage to his mind, he knows what is happening isn't right and it's against his spark's desire. It's tragic, but there may be no fixing the damage Megatron has caused to Starscream's mind. It might be safer for everyone if Starscream just died. This whole concept of Megatron infecting Starscream like a virus was new and interesting to me. People have been wondering for a while what my opinion of Skybound is. I think it's written well, it has setup and themes already elaborated on very well by other YouTubers like Delta Tryon. For example, Optimus squishing a deer in front of Spike and being horrified by that is not just a one-off event, but it haunts him in the future. And later Spike sees a living deer and it's symbolic, a sign of change and hope. You can see calculated intention and Daniel Warren Johnson's writing. DWJ is forging his own path by not being afraid whatsoever to kill fan-favorite characters right off the bat. In fact, many readers may be so surprised that they'll wonder where the story will go if it keeps eliminating big names. I share that concern too, but the story seems planned, that the writer just wants to push the Autobots into a desperate corner. The Autobots are constantly under attack and seeming to lose one of their own as soon as they gain one. If you like a very gritty story, this is it, with violent writing paired with a gritty art style. This art style with heavy black lines works very well for the story, and what is very impressive is the writer was also the artist for issue 1. That allows for full control for launching this new series the way you dreamt it. The only issue I have with the gritty black lines is sometimes it is hard for me to interpret what is happening in an action scene. Now, this story is very G1. It starts off very similar to G1, with the Autobots and Decepticons lying broken in the crashed Ark, to be repaired by Teletran 1. However, it starts to put its own twist on things like killing Bumblebee and others. The characters you see in Skybound are all G1 characters, yet with RC and Alita 1 appearing earlier. Shredhead is a brand new character to come out of Skybound, but apart from that, all your robots are just G1 characters. For me, this is disappointing because I prefer fresh new storylines and not just doing G1 again but with new twists. And in answering a fan question, the writer, Daniel Warren Johnson, admits to only really knowing G1 Transformers by replying who? To a question about Arachnid, Slipstream, and Flamor, and other female characters. If you don't know Flamor, that's not a big deal, but not knowing Slipstream, a fan-favorite Decepticon with roles in Transformers Animated, Cyberverse, the Line Continuity, and IDW2, or Arachnid from Transformers Prime, and by extent, Black Arachnia, that's disappointing. I wish DWJ did more research of Transformers and its various media before writing. Skybound is just G1 but grittier without giving purpose to characters other than the same original old cast. By repeating certain events and moments from G1 with just added twists, other Transformers concepts aren't being explored and new ideas are few. One of my favorite things about Transformers Cyberverse is, just as an example, how it made very random characters the mains for some episodes. Transformers Earthspark, Transformers Rescue Bots, Transformers Rescue Bots Academy, Transformers IDW More Than Meets the Eye. They have classic characters and ideas, but also completely new characters and ideas. Right now, Skybound just doesn't feel fresh enough for me, so I'm not that invested. I'm interested in how holding the Megatron gun has driven Starscream insane, since that hasn't been done before. But I want to see different Cybertronians, settings, and characterizations because, yeah, mostly, the characters are very similar in personality to their original versions. These are not really bold new takes, except for Alita choosing dark choices. That did surprise me. I will continue to read the series as it comes out, and if anything else surprises me or impresses me, I'll be back for another video. Oh, and before you go, let's speculate on this. While this series has been devoid of romance so far, Astro Train is raging about having his love killed. Who or what is that love? Did Astro Train have a lover? To be determined.